guys, like you end up listening to things then be like, hey man, no man, yenzeka kanjani into eso. And the state the state wants to sell a clean linear story to us. Their version is very simple. That Ndanzi consulted with Mjiako at police station. That was Gininda in that witness box, guys. That was Gininda telling the court that Ndanzi consulted on the 23rd of June with Mjiako. That this consultation legitimized what followed on the 24th. And that any denial now is simple, convenient backtracking. That's what Ugininda was trying to say. But wait, Ugininda does not give us proof. Does not give us proof, guys. He does not give us proof of there was this consultation. There are things that don't make sense in his also statement regarding that consultation. There's too many loopholes. He says he got a call to be advised that there is someone who is there to see Ubongani dance. But wait, if someone arrives at police station, why are we going to call a brigadier? Calling him for what? Because it's a lawyer is here to see someone who's arrested. Okay, maybe that is just me. But now, and more importantly, that story collapsed this past week because Brigadier Bongani Gininda lied that we cannot run away from. It lied and Undanzi proved it, and Undanzi left us with so many questions because the story of Mjiako is not making sense. Not partially lied, Ubongani Gininda lied. Not partially, not mistakenly, but material. He lied. Material. He lied, guys. About the consultation on the 23rd, he lied. Mjiako did not arrive because he was summoned by Undanzi on the 24th. He did not arrive because a family member called him. He did not arrive because of prior instructions. He appeared out of nowhere. Undanzi first sees him outside magistrate Cronier's office. Now ask yourself this. How did Mjiako even know a statement was allegedly being taken for Bongani Ndanzi, or even a confession, whatever it is? First, he says, I was sent by your sister. And then he shifts, your family sent me. When challenged by Ndanzi, can I see proof that my family sent you? The response is, we will talk about that later. Let's go inside. That is not representation, Moss. That is containment. You can't be treating your client like that. You take instructions from your client, not the other way around. Well, inside Cronier's office, or in Mjiako does something extraordinary. He sits aloof, guys. He sits aloof. He doesn't advise Ndanzi. He doesn't intervene in anything. He doesn't protect his so-called client. The only thing he does is flash an FFC number. And later, we find out that FFC number is not even his. Guys, isn't this really scary? This is some scary shit. Now, let us be very clear about professional ethics. Ne? If your professional registration is not in good standing, then you are not in good standing. All these professional places you are registered, whether it's education, public relations, accounting, doctors, all of these people, engineer, everybody, you can't be in good standing when your registration is not in order. There is no way that you are going to be halfway legality. There is no halfway legality. No borrowed credibility, no temporal compliance. At that moment, everything he touched was contaminated. And this is where I want Uramsipili to make sure he touches a lot, because There is no way that you will have an FFC that belongs to another person. Awukwazi ngeke. And this is where intent becomes unavoidable. Mjiyako was not there for Ndanzi. He was there for his handlers. He was there for his handlers. Whoever his handlers are going to benefit when Ndanzi is found in this mess. For the South African Police Services, called case unit, his role was not advocacy, it was sanitization. His handlers, whoever that handler is someone who is also handling the cold storage unit. He was there for them. He was there for the cold storage unit, guys, in my view, because why is it Gininda that knows that he went to consulting at 23rd? He's the leader of the cold storage unit. So he must know something that other people don't know. But one thing that we must never be shy away from saying, Mjiyako did not represent Ndanzi. His role there, his role was not of advocacy at all. It was there to sanitize the situation, for it to look like there was a lawyer. To stand next to something unclean so that later someone could say, but it was done in the presence of a lawyer. Just like that. A priest blessing a false ceremony. A witness signing an affidavit they never saw. A name being added after the fact. That's what is happening here. This is about legitimizing the illegitimate. Yabona le confession kaNtanzi indaba yayo ayikho. That is why lo bhuti uRamsa must make sure he fights everything there is to fight. He fights everything there is to fight. This is why I like the new Ramsiphi, the game like, because my goodness, the things that he is doing there, the things that he is saying also, damn. I don't like him, Jay, not because he's being dramatic. He's not a man of drama. No, he doesn't dramatize anything. He's always cool, calm, collected. Even in his anger, I think you saw him angry the day on Thursday. He was very angry at the judge. He was even saying, he was even angry. His voice was broken. He was also shaking with anger because he was feeling disrespected. But even that moment, I did not hear him shout, making drama, whatever. No, he was still cool and collected. So the reason I like him is because uRamsiphi right now, where we are with the evidence in chief of Bongani Ndanzi, he is dissecting everything. Alles Ndanam. He is dissecting everything. He doesn't argue the meat of a statement his client says never existed. No. Instead, he is asking about the pro forma, about the framework, about the process, about due diligence. Even if hypothetically a statement existed, this part, you didn't say it. That part, you didn't say it. That section, you denied it. He is not consenting. He is cornering every bit of it. And we can see the uncomfortability from the state side. We see it. It's very visible. And then comes the most disturbing part, the suggestion, openly typed, openly implied that what Gininda says is the alpha and the omega, beyond challenge. That is not justice. Because you tell me why Ubaloye City, but Brigadier Gininda said, Aibo Wenja, is he Jesus Christ? Did he die for people? Did he land in any cross and die for people? Because he's not the type to. That is not justice. That is authorization in defense. That is busy authorizing that. Yeah, Ongani Gininda. Sir, please leave us alone. If one police officer's word becomes unquestionable truth, then this courtroom is no longer a court. It is a rubber stamp. for what Gininda wants to happen. We see right through them. What we saw here is not about statement. It is about blunted intermediaries, manufactured consent, retroactive legality, and justice system being asked to look away. And the question the court must answer is simple. If this process is allowed, what stops it from happening again? I'll leave it there for now on this video. If you see me disappear at 12, please know that Nyolala. Anyway, this issue is not going anywhere. That is me dashing out on this video. Thank you so much. I'll see you on our next video. Bye-bye.